Hello, everyone. So we've been speaking about Joseph, and we've been speaking about light, water, firmament as it relates to procreation, both in the context of marriage with children, and also raising up students, with coming out with fulfilling our potential every moment, recognizing that God is recreating reality, and coming out to teaching new Torah insights. That ultimately we want to teach the Torah of Mashiach, new insights of the Torah of Mashiach, which is to shift our consciousness to a redemptive consciousness. So now in discussing light, water, and firmament, we said that the light begins in the mind. So this is very, very important to discuss more. First, let me read again from page 25 of 137, The Riddle of Creation, by my Rabbi Yitzchak Ginsburg. The mystery of Amar. So we discussed that Amar, Aleph Mem Reish, stands for Or Mayim Rakia, light, water, firmament, that every moment God is continuously speaking creation into being. And this is, as we discussed, in terms of light, water, and firmament, of the process of fertilization of the sperm and the egg, both in the physical and also in our spiritual experience of every moment to give birth to new insights, to bear those insights into reality, and as we'll discuss, to make dreams reality. So we're gonna be discussing that. So first, to explain that the light that starts in the mind. The mystery of Amar relates to the transition from electrical impulses to physical seed in the process of creation and birth. Biological procreation begins with a manifestation of energy in the mind. At this stage, it is a series of electrical impulses that pass through the nervous system, but do not yet manifest as physical seed. The individual becomes electrified at different levels as waves of energy flood his psyche. The energy gradually becomes more physical. Okay, so this is all before it becomes physical, before it reaches a physical state. So when we're talking about, we've been speaking about Joseph, and we're speaking about identity and fulfilling our potential. And this is the figure of Joseph, Yosef Tzaddik, the Tzaddik, a righteous person, is one that devotes himself fully to God, but also is one that exerts maximal effort in the service of God and to fulfill God's will in this world. And in the merit, as we're going to explain, in the merit of overcoming the test of Potiphar's wife that attempted to seduce him, so he 12 years later, after being thrown in the dungeon, he's becomes known as Safnat Paneach, the revealer of secrets. So first of all, so what happened? So he was thrown in the dungeon, and he's there, and then he interprets correctly the dream of the butler and the baker. Okay, so then he's in prison in a total of 12 years, and Pharaoh himself had a dream that no one could interpret. What was the dream about this? The 7 years of famine, and then that would be after the 7 years of plenty. So 7 years of plenty and then 7 years of famine. Okay. So after Joseph properly interprets the dream and gives Pharaoh advice about what to do, about to have these storehouses and to fill it with grain. So that Pharaoh then calls him Safnat Paneach, the revealer of, he's able to basically, revealer of the concealed, but he's able to reveal, what this means is to reveal the riddles solve the riddles of the unconscious mind. So Safnat is the value of Keter, of crown, of the divine channel of crown, as we've been talking about in relation to coronavirus, because corona is Latin for crown, and we've been discussing that at length. So the relation of the coronavirus to crown, to the sphere of crown of Keter. So this is very important. And we were talking about Joseph and fulfilling one's potential, and about the revealer of the concealed. So it starts off in a state of not knowing. Like people say, there's so much not unknown about this virus. And even a person himself maybe doesn't know that they have it. Either they're asymptomatic or they have symptoms that maybe it's something else. Maybe it's so there's a lot unknown about it. Okay, so this is now what is specific to Joseph is that he's able to sweeten hardship by being miskale, by revealing that which normally is something that's concealed, like to interpret dreams. And this is the merit of overcoming the test of Potiphar's wife. So there's something, when we talk about fertility and we talk about zinc, that is preserving one's light and one's potential. This is very important. And this is at all levels, that one's thoughts should be holy thoughts and good thoughts. And with this in mind of Joseph. So Rabbi Ginsburg explains in a video that I'll link to. So the 12 years in dungeon was like the time spent in the womb before birth, and then there was this metamorphosis of then becoming the viceroy to Egypt. But it's very important. When he was in that dungeon, he always kept his spirits high, and so this is in order to find favor, to always keep one's spirits high. And he through all of this, through overcoming all of these hardships and to sweeten hardships, he was able to sweeten what's called the Tzal Mavet, the shadow of death. So any time that, God forbid, we have this, we feel like there's this ominous all around us. No, this is, we have to remember Joseph and his ability and through his faith and trust in God, that even to shine light on a situation that otherwise seems dark. Okay. And fear and trembling to turn into joy. So when we talk about a flash of insight, that's already consciousness. That's already chachma. So what's a symptom of this virus that is rooted in the superconscious? That at first maybe it seems something asymptomatic, that it's just, why is this happening? But later on it's being discovered that maybe this is related. Maybe this is a symptom. So it's the loss of smell and taste. So now we're going to talk about smell. Smell is very, and this also relates to zinc, by the way. One of the signs of a zinc deficiency is loss of smell and taste. Another one is a depressed mood, decreased immunity. These are all the things that we're talking about strengthening, staying in a positive frame of mind, about, again, to explain that I'm not a doctor, I'm not saying anything in terms of we're talking about in the spiritual side of things, according to the Torah, according to the inner dimension of the Torah, in Kabbalah and Chassidus. Okay, but there's a lot going on here in terms of appreciating what it means to preserve one's light and one's potential. The Yesod, which is the Sphira of foundation, which corresponds to Joseph, to the male procreative organ, is one's potential, and we have to use it in the proper way, and to overcome these tests before us, and in the merit of that, then we become the revealer of the secrets of that. Again, the ability to make dreams reality and interpret dreams, make dreams reality. Okay, and to shed light on situations which otherwise seem dark. Okay, so about smell. So I'm going to be reading here from another article, from Rabbi Ginsburg, and I'll link to that. Okay, first, just a quick note on smell. So it says that Mashiach will judge by smell, not by sight or hearing. Smell is the sense of the superconscious crown, as we've been discussing, the Keter of Mashiach. The sense of smell was not blemished in the primordial sin. Our sense of smell is our sensitivity. This is some tweets actually of Rabbi Ginsburg. So it's just a short teachings about the inner meaning behind the sense of smell. Our sense of smell is our sensitivity to the inner, often unconscious emotions and motives of ourselves and others. To strengthen our sense of smell, we must connect to the soul of Mashiach, the collective sense of smell of all humanity. So, again, when we're talking about something so basic as the ability to smell, and that affects taste, but we'll discuss taste maybe in the next video. So, something so basic as the sense of smell that wasn't blemished by the primordial sin. So we want to know how to strengthen it, because this is something so the purest of the senses. This is the most Mashiach of the senses. It says Mashiach will smell and judge. So we want to definitely connect to that. So let's learn more about the sense of smell. The prophecy of okay, so this is again back to this other article. So I'm just going to pick up in this paragraph. The prophecy of Isaiah continues, and his delight will be in the fear of God, and he will not judge after the sight of his eyes, nor decide after the hearing of his ears. The word for delight, v'haricho, has the same root as the word smell, reach. The sages interpreted this to mean that the Mashiach will be able to judge through the sense of smell. So, when we spoke before about rectifying one's delight, we should only delight in serving God and in learning His Torah and fulfilling His mitzvos, His commandments. So this is coming to ahead now, right? Learning about Joseph and all that he overcome and all that he was able to accomplish as a result of overcoming the test with Potiphar's wife. And this all relates to smell. So when we talk about the fact that this virus relates to the superconscious, to crown, and that there's the ability to make sense of, to sweeten this situation, to shed light on this situation. So this relates to rectifying our delight, to delight only in God, and to have proper delight in the fulfillment of mitzvahs. One of those mitzvahs is puravu, of having children in marriage, but to do it in a rectified way. So this is to strengthen one's sense of smell, is to again open our mind to Mashiach consciousness, and which means to overcome these tests and